Well, Olivia, thank you so much for taking the time to join up with Hey Legal this afternoon. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Thanks very much for having me.
Oh, a pleasure. I'm glad to hear you're well. Well, today we are going to talk about flexible traineeships, something that I think many within the profession may not be overly aware of. I have to admit that I wasn't aware of them until I started to look into the situation with traineeship. So could we, as a starting point, ask you, what is the definition of a flexible traineeship?
Yeah, of course. And I have to say, I agree that a lot of people don't necessarily know what flexible traineeships are either. They have been around for a little while, but they just aren't very well known. So a traditional traineeship is 2 years full time, which is usually spent with one employer. And then sometimes a trainee might complete a secondment with another organisation during that period. But a flexible traineeship could be broadly one of three things. So it could firstly be a sort of shared traineeship, so where a trainee works at more than one organisation over the course of the traineeship. So can work in a few different ways. For example, you could work for one employer for 3 days a week and another for 2 days a week over the course of 2 years. Or you might spend the first year of your traineeship with one employer and the second year with a different employer.
Okay.
So then got part-time traineeships, which is where a trainee works on a part-time basis and the length of the traineeship is altered to reflect the part-time hours. This might be to accommodate, for example, working 3 days a week, or otherwise working something like a term time structure and taking more days off during the course of the year. And then the third definition is about further secondment. So a traineeship might have the opportunity to go on secondment more than once during the training period. So you might, for example, actually have 2 or 3 6-month secondments set up during the course of the 2 years.